Hey, good morning, everybody. Starting here in a second, but did you guys see a poll pop up in Zoom asking about the S&P? Hey, good morning, everybody. Hey, good morning, everybody. Hmm. I don't know where it came from. Whether the Zoom is doing something on their own. Weird. All right. Want to make sure they're not polling uh, everybody on their own in rooms where they shouldn't. Okay, so yesterday we were looking for the stabilization and potential turn, and we got it. Obvious reference point of the rising 50 MA, which has worked every time this year. Now we've got a rounding top up there, and you can see this one more of a V top, and that was kind of like a little breakout failure and drop, V top. What that means is we have a more significant overhead resistance area, and where I've got this red bands here is, right at the top of where this went yesterday. It reinforces what I've said for 25 plus years. Look to the left if you want to know where the sellers are or the buyers are. So it stopped there and it's kind of turning down. And then the next concept in the thought process is a wide range bar creates a void. After a void is created, and after a deep retracement like that, which showing strength, it has to create support because there's nothing below. And you don't want it coming all the way down here because that's just a whipsaw market. So this did create support, and now it's made a lower high and a lower low, and that is very okay. It doesn't have to make a retest and reversal pattern. Sometimes that does happen, but a lower high, lower low is just fine. And on the 60-minute chart, we've got a range expansion bottoming tail bar. So buyers stepped up aggressively on the dip above what was resistance. We always say, while we use minor resistance, it's subjective as a reference point because it's beyond what's directly to the left. Now that we've got a wide range bar, momentum move in a smaller time frame, and as we move down with the same analysis through our multiple time frames, that's a strength move. And this has to now create support. It's taking out this highs here. And now it needs to make a higher low, do whatever it's going to do here as the market opens. And maybe today chops around, but this turn suggests it should go up. Now, the way it came down with this reversal, bearish reversal failure, and this congestion that's there, it's a little less desirable as a pattern to get through that area. So if it should play out that way to get, a day or two popping around in the top of the wide range bar here, that is just fine. We're not going to get some type of, we wouldn't get some type of a rally mode like we saw yesterday to take advantage of. But that's okay for setting up a better type of swing setup. In other words, to go sideways, a little bit more corrective price action, getting away from this area through correction through time. And we see, how it plays out. I think, just based on how this came down, the rounding top, what I've explained, this pattern historically is less likely to just shoot straight up, right? Do you think 44.35 Tuesday's low is good until Friday? On SPX. And you're telling me 44.65 is gamma support. Okay, so what McGraw is telling me, is that as of last night's information, McGraw, because these open interests don't change very much. So that could just be based on, open interest in the monthly from a long time ago. And this whole word of gamma support is a bit subjective. But as you can see there, there's nothing at 44.65. As we go to the S&Ps, SPX, was this unfilled gap here, right, that it came down to and then made the turn. So a nice reversal yesterday at resistance. So 44.65, I would not make a bet 44.65 holds intraday. It very well may hold on a closing basis. As you know, our analysis one is which, even though this is a wide range bar and it's just a, educated kind of line in the sand as of where we say a reversal like this should stay in the upper 50%. Lo and behold, it's around the number you're saying, 44.65. But we also say in MTS is that while we want the opening close to stay in the upper half and ideally in the upper third, tails, right, intra-bar moves can move below that, which is somewhat desirable because you've gotten this downward move and it's clear evidence that demand is strong and drives it right back up again. So holding on a closing basis, it might, but there's no reason to believe that would happen just based on any price support because there is none. Okay. This area here, which is give or take what the number you're mentioning, was traded below and back above. So it's been neutralized as a reference point. The depth of this retracement is bullish in this time frame and between these two bars. So pullbacks into that area are about where buyers should want to step up and be comfortable that that's enough of a retracement to buy at. And now we will watch and see if that actually happens. So we look at the charts based on our method. We know what should happen based on historical norms. And then we trade the present to see what actually does happen. So, yesterday I talked about the size of this pullback and the unfilled gap and the rising 50 MA and some range expansion stuff, and that this is where things should hold. And I went so far, which I normally don't do, to say, you know what, based on these things that we're talking about here, where I usually go to the bottom of where there's premium on the S&Ps, I was a little bit more aggressive to say, you know what, I think you can come up from those levels and get away with it today. I don't think I've ever said that. And it worked out very nicely. So we've got the turn. We'll see how today shapes up. It wouldn't be unusual to have a chopping around day, and we'll see how it plays out. Right. Okay, Qs. Let's just look at QQQ. Right. Nice reversal day. Rounding top. Got a mess. It's up here. What's it doing this morning? Whipping back and forth. 43.80 for Friday on SPX. I would say absolutely yes. Even if this fails, which would be a shock and would drive prices aggressively lower, buyers would be down here aggressively if it was to fall that far by tomorrow. I'm telling you, if it was to fall down here by tomorrow, I mean, today has to be a nasty reversal day, and it goes down there and hits this support level, you know, mortgage the house, go borrow some money from whoever, tell them you'll return it with a 20% return by next week. I'm kidding, but you know what I'm saying. That would be a monster move in a short amount of time, and it would be a tremendous opportunity for an intraday trade at a minimum. Okay. Yeah. All right, let me continue here. Yesterday I spoke too long. And so, made the turn, rounding top, whipping around here. 378-ish, 378. Yeah, whatever. No big deal. Qs, downtrend here. It's been the weaker. Let's say so S&P, Qs and the NASDAQ futures were obviously weaker, much more so early in the day yesterday. S&P acted better. S&P moved up. Eventually the FANGs joined the party and things went up here. And the idea of retracing into a wider bar, it's doing that right now. This has got the support point. We'll see if that actually holds. I think it might be a little messy here at the open, but there's that momentum move. And as it's pulling back here, there's nothing to the left, right? But there's that, what we call minor support there. And buyers stepped up, and created this pivot. And we'll see if this can start to make a turn. Yeah, the Russell, amazing it didn't tag the 200, but things started to turn around. And so the opposite of, the green bar and momentum move and not retracing deeply into it, like here, momentum move up and it stayed at the top. Well, this isn't as big a red bar as that is a green bar, but same idea. Well, this is retraced more than 50% and closed into it. So that is a positive event. And as we talk, and Dan and I talked about, in MT Live, a little bit about candlesticks and these different names and whatever this is called. I don't really know. Don't hold me to it. If that's an official piercing pattern or whatever, who cares, right? It's about retracement. Call it whatever it is, right? That's a bullish, semi-bullish reversal. If we go in and look at SPX, that's a really bullish reversal. Different degrees. It retraced all the way up. Is that a different name? Probably so, but who cares? And I just look at the picture and I say that went further and closed further. That's more bullish. So nice reversal. It's holding up here. It's doing better than the S&P and the Qs here. Pre-market, nice reversal there. And so chop it around. Can we consider that a pivot to be left on as holding or being tested? This point right here, Thane, this 2-bar reversal, left of that. Well, it is a pivot. It's marked a pivot. The computer can't be wrong. Only the programming can be wrong. So it went below it. And so that the depth of this retracement, we would view as being somewhat bearish because it came down too far and it broke that. So while this pattern is semi-bullish, where it formed kind of neutralizes the bullish view of what's happened here. And so as we condense the information and go to the weekly time frame, we see this mess that's going on here, but look at the size of this bar and this pullback here. So this communicates somewhat of a neutral situation, but we can't discount the power of this bar yet. It's more of a somewhat bit of a mess, so to speak. Then you've got this congestion there, but as far as what's happening intraday and this reversal, if it can hang here for a while, this looks like it could go back up to here, which is not that far, but intraday, it's a decent move. Right? We know that there's a mess over here to the left. Right. So, we have to put things in perspective. And that's kind of the art of reading multiple time frames and putting that information together. What is the expectation if on daily is a consolidation resistance area on a W? It's kind of, your words are difficult for me to know exactly what you're getting at there, but on YouTube, what is if the daily is a consolidation resistance area in a W? I'm not following. Look, you have to, what's the definition of a W? A momentum move lower that then has a minor retracement and a retest. So the takeaway, we all want to learn things in an absolute way, meaning if I see this, I know that's going to happen. That isn't the case. If I see this, I know historically the odds are that. Now I'm going to see what happens in the moment. So, as I've been explaining, if I see a momentum move up and it clears resistance, there's a void below, and it should create support. I see this kind of a messy move down. I know there's congestion to the left. As a swing trade, I had better give this ample room to wiggle around, because even though it's made this low, right, this is a bit of a mess to the left. So look, these type of questions, which get into deeper thought process, let's say, take a $7 trial to the green room. And you know what? Even if you don't subscribe, you can come in there for 7 days and pick mine and Dan's brain. We'll bring up charts and explain things in multiple time frames. It's the cheapest freaking education you'll ever get in your life. And if you don't want to be there after that 7 days, I can't imagine why, but if you want this type of, education and discussion with us, spend $7. All right, let me continue. I don't want to go too long here. YM, just a freaking mess. But they're wide bars here. It came down harder. It hit the 100. It's whipping back and forth. Intraday, it looks pretty decent. It's got the same type of reversal bar, and I like these that take out the low and whip back up. That tells me this should go up. Well, go up to where, Greg? Well, somewhere up here. It's not like we're looking for some monstrous move here. There's still a lot of uncertainty about what's going on here, and things need to tighten up. All right. Some nice reversal. We saw a bunch of nice reversals in these crypto type of moves. Bitcoin here, down a little bit, but it survived this nasty bar here. And now, we talked about this, last week, that if it could do that, it would enter into this void. Now, will it create resistance? It's starting to do that right now, but it's in a bullish upward move. So we assume it'll keep doing that until it has some type of a failure. And right now, they're still buying the dip. Oil moving up there. Our oil related stocks and XOP survived that downward move, which was what I tend to call intelligent hope mode, because I even said in the room, why didn't I sell that when it was gapped up like that? Because I thought it would go higher, because it came out of this congestion. And then as it came back down like that, I'm like, when you're in that kind of set trade, and then it gaps up yesterday, and it's like, red bar ignored, it should go higher, and it just did. So it's getting closer to this area. It got close to $90, and I sold some. Why not? It's a bottoming pattern. They tend to be treacherous. Gold, just a freaking mess. Hit there, down, and this was, hey, it's going up into there. Can it retrace more than 50% and close there, even with this Little downside shakeout. It's not happening. All right. Probably the dollar. Well, that's not moving much. That's interesting. I don't know. Well, the euro's moving down. So the dollar is showing some strength somewhere. I don't know. This market is quirky, Deb. You know that. All right. Silver, which was looking like it was making the turn. Now it doesn't. Bottoming patterns are treacherous. Sometimes, a lot of times they work out so nicely, but you're trading against the trend and things happen. Now, as this comes down here, we will be watching intently to see if this can make a W type of a bottom here and make a reversal. We'll see how that plays out. There you have it. Transports, started to make the turn. Let's see how today develops. Do we get more transports showing some relative strength? Interest rates, which we've been talking about, have come up, and that was a plus, which puts a relief on financials, which took a hit because of the way they came down. So they're stabilizing. So you've got all these moving parts, market internals into market analysis as this market tries to figure out, which way to go. All yours, Dan.
All right, good morning. One second here. All right, all our opens are fine. Not too many gappers, but I'll go over everything on my interest list. Here's one right here, RMD. It's in an uptrend, but I like the relative weakness. I like it's a bear 1, 2, 3. I like that it's at the 20 because then if it takes out that, it has a price void. I like the weekly and monthly extended. And I like that it's gapping down pre-market. My alarm just went off. So that's a short watch. Look at this Eli. This was, I think, earnings yesterday and a bearish gap. And see, this is why you gotta, I can't watch everything, but I saw it down pre-market and I didn't see it rip like this, but that's a very bullish reversal now. Maybe we can sell out of the money puts on that. Greg, you mentioned cruise ships yesterday, and this is the best looking of the four. And so I said, you know what? Let's sell a $75 put over yesterday's high. Way the heck down here. Let's stop under here. And even if it just bobbles around and goes nowhere, premium is pretty good. Let's see, Jacopo, Crocs, IDXX. Croc, yeah, it's technically not a 1, 2, 3 because you got a big tail, but I still interpret it the same. So that actually looks good. I like it. I'm going to put that in a window on my other computer. Crocs. Beautiful breakout after 2 attempts to go down. Look at the volume. Norbert Sig. Yeah, I like that one too. It came down really hard, so maybe 30-minute high, but yeah, I like that one a lot too. That's going on my list. So these notice that both of these are retailers. I posted WSM over yesterday's high, another retailer. Big gap came in, higher low, nice range expansion close. So I like that one. So we got 3 retailers on our list now. IDXX, It's a 1, 2, 3, but it could also be a failed attempt to go down. So I'm not quite sure about this one. See, because see that this could be a bull flag on the weekly. So I compare it to the RMD. See, RMD is, to my opinion, is a much better shorting pattern than IDXX. Dash for Jose. 214. It's getting a little extended. I don't know. I'd let that one set up. Your better entry was here on the breakout. So just watch it. It's not a tier 1 to me. Riot. Yeah, over yesterday's high. Riot's fine for a put spread. We did a put spread and that expires Friday, so I don't know how much juice there is. Look at this AGIL. This looks like a total Reddit boy. This totally looks like a short squeeze that they pulled off. So now it's gapping over. Today's Thursday, over Tuesday's nice reversal bar. So that's why I have that in this middle chart. OPAD gaps up's too big. Wow, that thing trades crazy on the daily. I would never hold that overnight. Look at Weber here, bottom right. I had this as a long watch yesterday, and it just I put it in a thumbnail like this, and it just took never, give me an entry. But now it's gapping up. So on a pullback, let's see if we can sell a $15 put. A Mara alarm. I would only do a put spread under the week's low on this. I don't like the way it broke down over here. The Riot was a little better. ARCB. Yeah, it looks fine. Wide range igniting breakout. It's a breakout daily, weekly. Yeah, that looks great. ARCB. I'll put that in a window. Cream was on our list. I'm going to set an alarm at 256.50. And Diamond's gunning for the highs here. All right, so the RMB already triggered. We'll keep an eye on it. Oh, Hood over yesterday's high. 41.95.